Well, good morning. It is Saturday, the 31st of May. I think I got ahead of myself yesterday. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know where I am. I'm trying to do too many things at once, and at my age, that's not a good idea because you start to forget what you were doing in the first place. Anyhow, big headline is this senator, I believe, was discussing the Medicaid cuts, Medicare cuts that Trump is trying to push through. And apparently he stood up and he smiled at everybody and said, well, we're all going to die sometime. Now, had I been there, I would have been stupid enough to say to him, yeah, some sooner than others. I can't believe that they allow this to go on, that he can threaten the American public and still holds office, that somebody hasn't thrown a brick through his window, blown up his house or something, done something destructive to him. I'm not going to say kill him because I don't want that to happen. I want him to suffer humiliation and whatnot for being such a stupid idiot that he go around saying things like that about people. That's so disgusting. And this is Donald Trump, and this is the world that he's building, where old white people can tell other old white people they're going to die. And that's just the way it is. You never know when. The truth of the matter is, when it comes to death, you never know. Grew up in the hippie generation. Didn't expect to see much after 30 because I was an alcoholic. I was in a lot of car accidents. I was. Nobody knows what I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing except ruining my life, basically. I had fun during that, and I met a lot of good people along the way, and I still have some of them as friends. But I'm not the kind of person that stays in contact with everybody, so my oldest friend, I have no idea where he is. I kind of let that slide. I used the reasoning that it was expensive to call him from here, which it was at the time. But that's just, an excuse. We actually probably didn't have that much in common later in life because of our politics, and I stayed a hippie. He never fully accepted the hippie generation. He kind of used it to his advantage, But anyhow, to stand up in Congress or wherever he said this, I don't know exactly where he said it, that we're all going to die someday. We're all going to die. As an excuse for the cuts, to justify cuts in Medicare and Medicaid. Now, if somebody shot him, say, and said, well, we were all going to die soon, so what's the difference? I don't understand how you can say that and not expect some sort of retribution from somebody. And the thing is, they're not going to do it. Nobody's really that upset about it. There's no protests in the street about this. There's no people shouting for this guy's head. So I don't think that they did things the way they should have. I just don't understand all of this, This is just, this is disgusting. It really is. That we have a country like that, I don't know what to tell you about that. Before I forget, I know, I got some other, I'm going to talk a little bit more, but please subscribe, and remember there will be no video to look for from tomorrow. I don't do Sundays at this time. I probably will during football season, but I don't know about that. There's so much garbage going on. that it's difficult to pick a topic and let's say, let's talk about this. You know, there's not a lot of stories on YouTube to talk about. People are shutting down on YouTube. I don't know what that deal is. Oh, what's this about Vance? Shows some unknown ignorance and the reports of administration has caused a brain drain. I don't know what he's talking about yet. Oh, here he goes. The fear that we're going to have a brain drain. If you go back to the 50s and 60s, the American space program, the program that was first to put a human on the surface of the moon, was built by American citizens, some German and Jewish scientists who had come over during World War II, but mostly by American citizens who had built an incredible space program with American talent. This idea that the American citizens don't have the talent to do great things, that you have to import foreign class of servants and professors to do these things, I just reject it. I just think we should invest in our own people and we can do a lot of good. Vance, who had previously delivered a speech framing the university as the enemy in American society, went on to suggest that the U.S. colleges are not producing good science because, according to him, many schools discriminates against white and Asian people. This was also especially ironic claim, given his administration is currently threatening to pull student visas from thousands of Chinese students. But let's sit with this. Why can't Americans do this? Question for the moment, shall we? Because it sounds patriotic, but it's fundamentally idiotic. For one, Vance's comments were surprisingly dismissive of contributions from more than 1,500 German scientists, some of them Nazis, brought to the United States as part of an operation known as Project Paperclip. The vice president isn't exactly known for giving accurate lessons in American history. But to be clear, there's an illustrious history of immigrant scientists coming to the United States and making tremendous contributions to the American way of life. But aside from that, Trump's crackdown on science is also causing American scientists and aspiring scientists, the ones that Vance claims to care about, to reconsider their career path. The Boston Globe highlighted that trend in a recent report sourced from the 24 young scientists who said they're considering going abroad to find jobs or potentially abandon scientific research early, entirely due to the administration's actions. This is what I don't understand. You know, the brain drain is a thing. People are leaving just about any occupation that they have, you know, they're leaving. And I think when you start to see professors take jobs at like Oxford and something like that, you know, I know it's difficult to get jobs there because it's a small school, but when you start to see these people going overseas, you know, I think the real challenge will come is if Harvard University says we're moving to Canada or something like that, you know. That would pretty much end all this bullshit, I think, but you never know. It says here, not even Trump thinks Musk is actually leaving the White House. No, he's not, because he can't. He can't allow people to do things with him because he has no, what do you call it? He has no money, really, to speak of. If the United States backs away from him, and you're seeing that a mismanaged company, right now, the space business is being mismanaged by him, because the pressure he's putting on these scientists to do things yesterday instead of today. You know, You can't do that with that. It's just, you can't do that and demand perfection. It's just not smart, you know. But then again, I don't think he's. I think he's been told he's so smart that he rejects the opinion that he can't force people to do things, that he can't get people to do what he wants them to do. But you know Donnie. Right now we have a justice system that says, hey, listen, if you got in trouble, just call Donnie up. He'll get you out, no problem, you know. So what if you kill 20 people? Well, that's all right. Claim self-defense. Oh, man. Oh, that was an interesting question. I'll have to read this later. Does birthright citizenship require allegiance to the U.S.? Well, I think so. But I'm not so sure, you know. Trump's message to trans people is clear: detransition or potentially die. Wow, this guy's just doesn't give. If you haven't figured it out yet, people, Donald Trump, the Republican Party, don't give a fuck about us. You know, you're just gonna end up in trouble. You got no support from the government, no support from the rest of your friends and anything. This is really turning into a potential for civil unrest, unfortunately. All right, I don't know much more I can talk about right now. I'm just the thing with we're all going to die just really pisses me off. It's a good thing that we're down here and we have our own health insurance programs down here, because if I was living up there and he started and he put that threat, let's say when my mom was alive, he did it, I definitely would be in jail. So I wouldn't put up with it. So I don't know how these other people are, you know. I don't think everybody's rich. I think everybody that's poor is scared. And I think it's time they stopped being scared, because they're the only ones that can help us. All right, listen, that's it for today. I told you I'm not going to be here tomorrow. Please subscribe to these videos. You know, I have to. Maybe I'll try and wear a more colorful shirt or something, because I guess I'm getting a little. I sound bored, but because the way the country's going, it is boring, you know. So I don't know what to do. Anyhow, I'll start doing some more sports talk or something. All right, listen, that's it for today. Remember, subscribe, comment, like, dislike, I don't care. Just don't throw anything at your computers, all right? They're expensive. I'll see you guys Monday.